On to the Super Showdown!
Yes, not much news.
Gorilla God. Gorilla God.
Gorilla
Grodd.
God. Harambe.
Gorilla Grodd versus Mr. Freeze
Hmm.
in our third quarterfinal of DC villains.
Yes.
It's getting real up in this bitch. The advantage is given to Mr. Freeze. I have gone ahead and made the decision, although there is no record of this in the comics, it's the only logical thing I can think to do, that Mr. Freeze's armor is going to protect him from psychological attacks from Gorilla Grodd and hypnotism and stuff like that.
Fair. I can get on board with him coming up with some modification or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, the guy operates in sub-zero temperatures because of his condition. I think it's fair to assume that Gorilla Grodd isn't going to easily be able to manipulate his mind. He's also mega intelligent, which I'm sure would play a part.
Exactly.
However, it's still not easy, because while Mr. Freeze's suit does make him quite strong and quite agile and quite fast. Sorry, not agile. Quite strong and quite fast.
Mm-hmm.
Gorilla Grodd is a fucking gorilla and a strong one at that. He's also hyper intelligent.
Yeah. He's not your ordinary gorilla, and he's also, as you say, highly intelligent. So
it's not like he's just gonna stand there and let Mr. Freeze blast the shit out of him with his cold gun.
No. And if he's intelligent enough to be like, oh, I tried to do my psychic stuff, and clearly it's not working. Okay, that tactic doesn't work. Let's use this tactic instead.
Yeah. I guess the crux of this fight boils down to, can Grodd break the cold gun? Because if he can't break the cold gun, eventually the cold gun will get him. But if we can say he's agile enough to close the gap and break the cold gun before Mr. Freeze can get him with it, at that point it's gorilla versus man, and that only goes one way.
I mean, gorillas, although they are quite agile. I feel like he could very easily close the gap on Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, 100%. I think gorillas being as fast as they are, Grodd is obviously Grodd. Why am I struggling to say his name so much today? Grodd. Don't know why I had an extra sound in there. Grodd.
You struggled with Grodd. I struggled with Rampart.
I
nearly said it wrong again.
Yeah, you almost said Rampage again. I could feel it. But yeah, I think he's more than capable of closing the gap. But I think it's only like a 50-50 on if he's closing the gap or not, which still leaves the whole fight up in the open. But it is that is the crux of the fight right there. I guess the question is, who do we think is more affected by the bloodlust into potentially making a silly mistake? And I think in this situation, Mr. Freeze can't really make a mistake, if that makes sense. Grodd can make the mistake of just running straight at him, which makes him an easier target. But Mr. Freeze is just going to be trying to shoot him with a cold gun. He can't make a mistake there. So do we say, because of the bloodlustedness potentially impairing decision making, is Grodd more likely to make the mistake, therefore giving Freeze an easier opportunity?
I get where you're coming from. I'm just like, is he even bloodlusted? He's still highly intelligent.
Yeah.
And it's like Grodd's also like, he's gonna know to not go directly at him.
Okay.
Is my thought. It's like, I feel like he'd have a good enough understanding of, like, just in general how any gun works. It's like, you don't run straight at it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's whether he quite realizes how much the cold might affect him.
Yeah.
Oh,
a tricky one. And
I think
we get to do our favourite thing. I think we get to leave it up to the audience.
Okay. Down to
I
leave it to the
think,
audience. I'm
yeah,
gonna say that I'm more Grodd leaning.
I am slightly more Grodd leaning as well. So if it ends up being a tie, it is going to be Grodd going through. But we'll put a poll out on Twitter, and I think we have access to community posts on YouTube. So I'll do one on YouTube. We'll do one on Spotify. We'll put all them numbers together and see what we come out with.
Yeah.
And if it ends up being tied, Grodd goes through. Very simple, very easy.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Gorilla beats man.
Yeah, and that is the argument. It's like, can Grodd find a way to make it Gorilla versus Man?